All right, welcome to the Sunday preview for the 17th Sunday in the year, July 26th. And we've got a reading from St. Matthew's Gospel where Jesus is continuing with his series of parables. It says, Jesus said to the disciples, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure buried in a field, which a person finds and hides again, and out of joy goes and sells all he has and buys that field." Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant searching for fine pearls. When he finds a pearl of great price, he goes and sells all he has and buys it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown into a sea, which collects fish of every kind. When it is full, they haul it ashore and sit down and put what is good into buckets. What is bad they throw away. Thus it will be at the end of the age. The angels will go out and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be wailing and grinding of teeth. You understand all these things? They answered, "Yes." And he replied, "Then every scribe who has been instructed in the kingdom of heaven is like the head of a household, who brings forth from his storeroom both new and old alike." Well, Jesus these weeks is speaking in parables, and each one of them has something to tell us about the kingdom of heaven. And here, obviously, is that the treasure of the kingdom of heaven is worth selling everything. In the first one, he says, the man goes out joyfully and sells all he has to buy the field. And it's a good reminder to us, because so many of us live, I think, our faith as a sort of obligation and a duty. And of course it's that, but it's something much more than that as well. And when we think about what would we be willing to give up in our lives for the sake of the kingdom of heaven? What would we sell? And could we sell it joyfully? Could we detach from pretty much anything in our lives in order to choose heaven? And I think when we reflect on it that way, it starts to get a little painful and uncomfortable, because there's a lot of things we've got our hearts attached to. And Jesus is trying to tell us that the kingdom of heaven is infinitely greater than anything we've ever experienced. So would we be willing to sell everything? And then it goes on and it says, at the end of time, the kingdom of heaven is like a net thrown in the sea, and they gather up everything. When you throw a net into the sea, it picks up fish, good fish, then fish that aren't so good to eat, and then a lot of junk and pollution too. And at the end of time, there's going to be that separation. The angels will separate the wicked from the good, and there'll be judgment. So the kingdom of heaven isn't just an optional bonus. It's also that eschatological choice that we need to make now by the choices we have every day. Are we choosing the kingdom of heaven? Are we selling everything to have Christ?